Okay.
Spoiler alert, I'm just kidding. So we started on 26. Snow finished his test. Yeah. Yes. Okay. What did we think?
I was very surprised by some things that happened.
Well, the people we thought were gonna die died, so.
True that.
Yeah. That, as I was reading the book, I told Eileen, because she hadn't finished the previous section, and she said she was gonna see the video before she read the last part, but she's like, nah, let me finish first and then we'll watch the video. And as I keep reading, I was like, there's certain things that we discussed as a group that I'm like, it seems to be happening. And I was like, it's crazy how that happens, but it was kind of cool.
I feel like Snow, because I didn't read The Shining, but I did watch the movie when he goes insane, Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
When Snow, in my opinion, went insane in that meadow or that cabin next to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
being paranoid, because we don't really know if she knew anything, like was on to him. It was like all in his head and he was building it up.
Mm-hmm.
And going crazy with the gun.
Yeah, that was creepy.
It's interesting that you make that connection, because I was thinking about him going crazy. I was like, how did he just go from, oh, the weapons are here, why are they here, where's Lucy, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna kill her, you're onto me, like he just escalated super quick, the same way that, what was his name, Jack in The Shining did. Like he was just going nuts. And yeah, that's just, it's insane. I kept saying, like, or at least I don't know if I mentioned to you, that I was like, all this happened, I'm gonna blame his trauma, because literally it was, yes, his childhood trauma, but also the trauma from the Hunger Games and what kept happening until eventually he just like, I'm gonna become loyal to the Capitol, and that's how it happened. It's insane.
Yeah, I felt like it's crazy because Snow was so dejected when he became a peacekeeper. Yet, like as those last chapters went on, I kind of started making some predictions, and it's weird because like I would write down two things, like this will happen or this will happen, and I was kind of like not surprised, but just kind of, I don't know, a different word for surprised, but not surprised, that slowly but surely Snow is getting what he truly wanted after all. With every little thing he had the choice, to report Sejanus or not, or, to send the bird or not, and to shoot somebody or not. And he just like started, to me, like making the wrong moral choice, but for him, that's what seemed right, which I feel like part of it was his circumstances, but I think he still, for me, it was kind of confirming that he wasn't a good person.
Yeah. I was thinking that, how, what's her name? Lucy was singing that one song at the end saying about like, oh, innocent. Let me go back to it. This is
the one about Snow?
Yeah, the one that specifically was written for him, because she mentioned Snow and it's like, oh, you were, I think he said like, not innocent, pure. And I kept thinking, how when he was about to kill, or not kill, but when he was like, should I send the bird? Because one, he recorded the whole conversation and, backstabbing him or betraying him. But he's like, should I send this? Should I? And I was like, no, I shouldn't do this. Let me re-record it, put the bird on neutral, and, don't not to do it. So he wasn't completely like fully evil, fully loyal to the Capitol. So then I thought when Lucy was singing the song, she's like, oh, you're pure as the driven snow. I thought it was like she was being ironic, or like if it was, I guess irony, because even though she was saying he was pure, I think at this point he wasn't anymore. He was completely on the dark side, or completely on the evil side already. And yeah, Because I was like, at some point he was still like, should I do this? Should I not? I shouldn't. I don't want to go that way. I don't want to be like my dad. And then at some point it was like, there's no return, and his thoughts stayed evil.
Right. Let me see, what else did I write? Oh, I was laughing too. I just like sometimes like when he would go watch Lucy sing, and he always felt like the songs were about Billy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, just like he's so insecure. Like that was very interesting to me because he's such a schemer. I felt like when Billy was killed, I just felt like, well, maybe that's what he truly wanted to happen, because now he doesn't have to worry about Billy possibly being competition. And he quickly, like, he's so quick to doubt Lucy. So he definitely has, you know, some trust issues.
Yeah.
Do you all think that he really loved Lucy? Like, do you think he was in love with her and he loved her as a person?
I think he was, but I don't think in the end he really liked that he was. And then he kind of went insane. Like he didn't know how to handle that feeling. And I think he loved his lineage and the capital more, and what he wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
It says a little bit about it in the epilogue, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, how she like not persuaded him, but she like influenced him quite a bit, and he didn't like that. And he's like, maybe I can marry this person who doesn't influence me at all. Like we hate each other,
Wanted to
but
marry
we can make it work.
Yeah. Someone he would hate.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like that loving Lucy made him like vulnerable and like not, he didn't say weak, but technically, you know, and he didn't like feeling that way, which I'm like, come on, dude. But yeah, and even at the end when he had the choice to go to District 2 or go with Lucy, like he's like, no, it's like he was super like, I'm going with Lucy, I'm going with Lucy. But then when he realized that he had a shot to go back, he's like, I'm gonna go back. Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Mm-hmm. There was always the capital over anything. Although I think he really did truly love her. He just didn't like how he felt or the things he would do or feel, especially like jealousy and stuff like that. Yeah, I think. So she's talking. I found it interesting how I think in chapter 28, it also mentioned that he was less emotional with his second killing. Mm-hmm. How it's like, it just became easier that, I don't know, there's that one, how do you describe it? Like you don't feel human. Like once you kill one person, you obviously that one time, I mean, I've never done it, but I'm imagining that one time you do it, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did it. You're going insane. And then he does it again, and then he does it again many more times, and at some point it's like, it's routine, I've done it, who cares? Like, you know, which is insane.
That could be. It's also the way that I think they were killed, because for Bobbin, he kind of bludgeoned him to death, and when it was the other two people it was with a gun, like on all the criminal shows that I watch, it says that like when someone's killed kind of more physically, I guess, it's more like a crime of passion, and if it's a gun, it's like a little less attached, like less emotion to it because it's more distant and easier.
You're not physically like having to put force.
Yeah. I was very surprised that the mayor's daughter died too. I was like, why is she even there? That was very dramatic.
Yeah, that scene was very fast and a lot happened in a short amount of time.
Yeah, because it was, she died and then Billy died. So then they were both dead. And then within a day, Sejanus was arrested. And then next thing you know, they're hanging him.
I kind of felt like with her character development, like I thought they were going to serve a bigger role. And maybe they did. But I thought it was going to go a little bit beyond what happened. Like I thought there would be more rebel activity than there was. And Billy Tape would have a bigger role than he did. But it just felt very fast. But I guess that's what she had to do to end the book.
Mhm.
Yeah, to throw some shockers
Age
in.
requirement.
Yeah.
And then I guess it's a mystery if Lucy is alive or not. Or what I was kind of confused with that.
Maybe she really become an ancestor of Katniss. Because do you guys get the reference when they're at the lake and they're like, oh, I found some Katniss? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
When she said
that's why she got named Katniss.
I was like, does this just create a memory for Snow later, and then that's why he hates her even more?
Mm-hmm.
District 12, the song,
The songs.
the Mockingjay, and now the Katniss.
And District 12 too.
Yeah, all that.
And he said that he hates the Mockingjays. Like, for some reason, he just despises them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how unnatural they are, but how he's okay with everything Dr. Gold, not okay with, but like he doesn't always question as fiercely as he does the Mockingjays with the things in her lab. Because those are more unnatural than the Mockingjays.
Mm-hmm. I thought something was going to go down when the other doctor, you know how he tells her, like, we should kill all of them, but they're actually her projects. I know, at least my friend who had like a fish project at Cal Poly, and she had a room full of fish and fisher science, which that's funny actually when I say it out loud.
Science.
And she took her fish like so seriously, you know, which with good reason. And I just like don't imagine how someone else could tell someone like, oh, we should kill your project when they probably spent hours and hours, you know, putting time and research into it. So I was surprised she didn't get more offended. Also, on a different note, after the meadow scene, when he got wet and he lost the powder from his mom and the photos, I felt like that was very symbolic of him just losing like anything good that was in there, because he's, you know, it was a pivotal point for me. Especially when we find out right after that he does get to go to university, I was like, wow, he's getting his own way. It was very weird and shocking.
With that, adding on to yours, I put down that the only thing he kept was the compass, which is his dad, which is, you know how his dad was? And I was like, wow. Obviously, he's like the pictures, the mom's thing, all gone. And now in his new life, all he has is his dad, which, based on from what we've heard, and even from the beginning, he didn't really like his dad, yet he's becoming like his dad. So I thought that was interesting. That was like literally my last note. I'm like, wow, I don't like this.
It's cool.
But that's how he turned out to be.
Especially because his dad, well, like, he didn't create the games. Obviously, the dean created the games, but he like pushed it forward for them to happen. So that just shows, like, not that he's evil, but just like more.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't trying to.
Yeah.
I like that they included that. Because it's like, I wanted to know what happened between them. And since Dylan was watching the previous video, I remember we were talking, or not I remember, but I saw that we were talking about like, oh, maybe it's because of the mom or some like scandal between them. And obviously it wasn't. But I'm glad they told us that.
It makes sense what you said, Judith, because when you said that, it made me recall how we talked about like him saying that he was more like his mom when he was talking to Flynn. And we were wondering why. And he said it's because he loves music. And then towards the end, he's like, no, I hate music. Like, that's, you know, it's disgusting to me, basically.
Yeah.
That made me remember that, which I think comes in your point. So.
And I do think there was also a part where he talks kind of negatively about his mom, and like flipped from the beginning. I don't remember exactly what he said, but nothing good from what I remember. And I kind of felt like Karina said, when when he lost the compact in pictures, he didn't seem that bothered either. Like he was letting go of that part of his life.
Because like he was like, I'm fine leaving this behind because it hasn't helped me, or it's probably made things worse for him to get attached or accept his feelings in a way.
Mhm.
Now he's over here just trying to like, I'm gonna be the top. I can't get attached. I'm gonna be with someone who hates me. That's the one where I'm like, oh my god, dude.
I also think he was rejecting any form of love.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about, I mean, there being different types of love, like romantic love with Lucy, family love with Pettiness and Grandma, and then friend love with, you know, possibly Sejanus, and they kind of were pigeonholed into being BFFs by people in the book.
Mm-hmm.
He did kind of care for Sejanus at certain points of the book, but then with what happened like in the middle of the book and him saving his life, and then at the end with the betrayal, I just maybe, I didn't say it in the book, but maybe he saw that as another form of weakness, like, oh snap, if I show affection or if I show friendliness to someone else and they're considered my friend, that's another chink in the armor for me. So maybe he decided to just betray him because it would be easier for him.
It reminded me of that part near the end when Sejanus was still alive. Like he was trying to think of any way to get through to Sejanus, and he was like intimacy, and I thought he was gonna like kiss Sejanus or something, but he was just hugging him. But I was, it's really me.
Yeah. I also was disgusted that he was designated as the heir and was accepting gifts from the plinths. I just felt
I know, like when you're accepting this kid, thinking he helped your kid when he was the one who put him under, and now like the dad was like, well, we technically adopted you because the mom needed you, and you know, I'll help you, I'll give you the money for tuition, I'll give you this, and how does he live with himself?
Pay for the taxes.
Yeah, exactly. The taxes, the house, everything was paid for.
And the grandma considers the mom as a maid. That just made me so upset. Like I could not.
And I'm surprised he did or like went along. Well, I guess he needed the money, but he looked down upon them so much that because they weren't getting it all.
That's very ironic. I wonder if he uses the money to help him become president later in the future too, because I was wondering that like right now you need a fair chunk of change to run for politics and run for anything. And I was wondering how does he do that in Panem to become president? But now he becomes loaded, then that must have become a lot easier for him.
You guys all saw the movies or read further books, right? Does he actually end up marrying when he's president?
He has grandchildren.
Yeah, he does have a granddaughter.
Right.
But I don't know if they talked about his wife all that much.
Because I'm curious to know.
I think she's dead. I want to say she's dead.
He killed her.
Probably.
He poisoned her with the rope.
But he does seem to love his grandchildren.
I'm going to reread the books after we finish this session. So
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and reread them too, just to see what I missed. Oh, talking about book. Oh well, I'll do that at the end.
but yeah, stop.
I'll write down a note. Oh yeah.
Oh no, wait, maybe we covered everything. Hold on.
Oh, there was this one last point.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling, or how we mentioned in the previous section or session, that Snow and what's her name, Lucy, were different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like they emphasized it more here. Let me see where it was. Oh, like, she said, "Do you always feel free to speak your mind?" And then, where I wrote down something about it.
It was in the conversation, right? When they went to the lake?
Mm-hmm. And then he was like, what? And they kept talking about like, oh, now you're mad because of something.
Oh, was
the
it
day
that
before
her
the
dad
lake.
got killed?
Yeah, because they were like, I don't think there's a human equivalent. Do you always feel free to speak your mind? Coriolanus, Snow. She asked him free to speak his mind. Of course he did, well, within reason. He didn't go around shooting his mouth. She meant when he thought about the Capitol and the Hunger Games and the districts. And that goes to see more for like, and I wrote it, I think here. Something about like, she's a free spirit. She's a total like activist. And he's more of like, I think he's more of a bystander or more of a, obviously, capital.
Rule follower.
Yeah.
Authoritative.
Yeah. So there was that point, and then there was another one where I think he said, I hate people, or like, I don't like people.
Mm.
And then there was another one where Lucy was like, that's what you think people do. And he's like, I do. And that's the law and someone's enforcing it. I think we might as well be animals. And she's like, what? And say like the capital is the only thing keeping anyone safe. And she's like, to keep me safe, what do I have to give up for that? And like they were clashing. So I feel like, yes, the relationship was like, oh my gosh, beautiful. But then they were having issues. And then at the end, they're like, oh no, we can still make it work. And then obviously he was like, I can't be digging up worms. I can't be living like this. I could have a better life in the capital. And the capital is the capital that. And she's like, what? You don't want to be free? And yeah.
And as soon as he found the guns, he jumped ship. So, I mean, it proved what you said.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting. That we mentioned it previously, and then they actually came to show the differences more clearly.
Yeah. Okay, the last thing I was laughing at was that I wrote is that he really is, you know, a delicate flower in some ways, because when he's cutting the onions, he's like, oh my God, my hands smell like onions. It's funny. And I also wrote, where he pretended to need a walking stick. He's like afraid to say like, hey, I'm kind of afraid there's an animal here. Just shows me that he's still being fake, like he doesn't show his true feelings. And that happened 2 times, right, where they're going to the lake and he's like, I'm gonna get a walking stick. Like he doesn't want to show anyone that he's scared of the animals that might be in the forest or something. I also had thought perhaps that Lucy might be in cahoots with the mayor to find out who killed the daughter for some reason. So I thought like maybe she would pull a fast one on the end, but that did not happen.
I was wondering if she was gonna like kill herself at the end. When he said, oh, well, 3 people, and she's like, 3? Who are the 3? And he's like, 1, 2, myself. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I think, I think she knew, she caught on, and maybe that's why she ran off. Who knows? But I wish that last section was more clear. I want to know what happened to her. Because I feel like she ended up being like the song, how she's like, oh, you're a mystery, and you were like your footprints were there, and then you were gone like a ghost. And I mean, that's technically what happened, because we don't know. Is she alive? Is she dead?
I wrote that too, Judith.
The song and the mystery thing?
Yeah, but I was wondering in my mind, like, you know how there's all these songs. It's definitely a big theme in the book. And there's the one about the hanging tree, then the one with her name in it. And I was wondering, like, if the events of the hanging song would come true, which I feel someone got hung, so they kind of did. But I was thinking maybe somehow Snow or Lucy would get hung if he decides he truly was going to go down for love.
Yeah.
And Lucy running off and us never finding out what happened to her is kind of like the mystery in the song, like you just said.
Yeah. That's why, because I think Snow mentioned like, oh, this song was about Billy and her running away, and Billy saying like, if you come with me, you like technically you either come with me or we both like die. And I was like, what if it's not about Billy? What if it's herself and Snow, and she's over here like, come with me? And when she noticed or realized that he killed more people, he's like, you know what, nah, come and meet me at the hanging tree, but I'm killing myself. Like, because they mentioned the rope around the neck, and I was like, oh shoot, that's
It's dark for sure.
Well, I wonder if he was planning on running away with Billy Tape, because when they had their altercation in that shed, Billy Tape had said that Lucy was going with him.
Oh, yeah.
And Snow was convinced she was just playing along. But that's just him being self-centered. She could have been planning it because she already had her little wagon ready to go.
Yeah, in that part, I also thought that maybe she still loved Billy, and like the whole time she never really stopped, so she was gonna still go away, but still like lead on Snow just so that he could have her on her side, I guess.
Yeah, because she knew that he could protect her to a certain extent.
I kind of felt that at the end. I felt like Snow was being used, and I was like, oh, pobrecito. But then, I don't know. It's just so much happened at the end, and it wasn't really clear.
Yeah.
So I wish I knew more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're gonna do another one?
I wonder.
I just want to say like the development. I was telling you the development of like how it all came to be for the newer like books that are out there, because there's still so much like Tigris, like what happens to her, and then the capital. Obviously, right now it's like poor, but then later it's really rich and doing really well. So I want to see the development of how that came to be.
Yeah.
And I want to know what happened to Lucy.
I want to know what happened to Lucy.
Which is kind of like the song, right? The song about her, like how it originated, like her name, how she disappeared and no one knows what happened to her. So it like left us not knowing what happened.
Like we may never know. Like even in the future books, if she writes more prequels.
Or if there's not like a sequel to the Hunger Games, but like an offshoot sequel. What if someone escapes and they find like a super old Lucy and she tells the truth of what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Right?
that seems cool.
Like a Gale meets her or something. You never know.
Oh,
Right or not.
Gail could probably do it because he was out and about, just
Trying to run away.
roaming. Yeah.
Well, that's also the connection I had made because Gail wanted to leave to the north also, right, with Katniss.
Mm-hmm.
So it was similar to him and Lucy and Billy.
Yeah. Oh, there was a love triangle in both books.
Yeah,
A lot to think about. I can't wait for the movie to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to do the readings?
What was that?
Oh, the readings? Like we rate the book when we finish it.
Oh, yeah.
reading.
Yeah. I heard readings and I was like, what are we reading?
Like we just did it.
5?
I feel like I would give it a 3/5 or a 4 out of 5.
I think I would give it a 4 out of 5. Just because the ending, I wish there was more. And I think it was a bit like rushed.
Mm-hmm.
The last bit, when everyone kind of just died, and then Lucy's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Come on. I don't know.
I try to read reviews right now, like looking up what happened to her, and it was like some person wrote like they try to put the timeline together if Katniss could be related to her.
Oh.
Like, but then they're like, oh, Katniss's grandmother was whatever 80 something by the 80th games or something. So it didn't line up like the age or something. But I don't know.
Oh, I feel like I agree with what Katie said about like the end kind of being stranger than I think the beginning half was really good at kind of setting the scene, and this is Snow, he's in school, these are his surroundings. But even the end of the Hunger Games, I felt like that happened a little fast too. And then boom, we're like in peacekeeper mode.
He was there for like a short period of time, and then it's like boom, he's out.
Yeah. And it was all Dr. Gall's plan in the end too. That was a trip for me.
Yeah, I think that's why 3.5 to a 4, because the first section I was really into, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna happen. Oh my gosh, I like this story. And maybe I don't like that we knew he was gonna turn evil, But
Hopefully something was gonna change.
no, I wasn't gonna change, but I guess I just didn't want to. Like, it happened too fast. Like, he became a peacekeeper. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, okay. And then I kind of lost interest when he was a peacekeeper because I was like, meh, I don't know.
It was like repetitive, like the same thing, the training that they would do. It's kind of just like,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's gonna take the test, and then I mean, I liked when Lucy came in, but it was still kind of like, oh, we're gonna go see Lucy, and like it was just slower.
It's a little
Slower.
tiring. I'll give it a 4 on Goodreads though, because I can't do halves there.
True.
Mhm.
Take that. And for the next book, there is 292 pages.
Oh,
short one.
Huh?
I'm like, short one.
Yeah. I separated the pages and it's like 73, but if I do 73 on the first section, it's in between a chapter. So I was thinking chapter 1 to 3, which is page 1 to 76.
Okay.
okay.
And I think we'll do it like that.
What's the book? I haven't checked Instagram.
Everything, does it come out right? Or does
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
Who pitched that one?
me, last minute.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay,
was like,
chapters 1 through 3.
I'm gonna do the this time of the New Year's, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna just grab this one, and I literally just read the back.
It looks. When I read the description, I thought it looked really.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to win. I kind of wanted to read. I kind of want to read the Evelyn and Hugo one, but it's okay.
Me too. Maybe I'll pitch it. No, I think I'm still gonna read it in January.
Me lo pasas después.
Yeah, I'll lend it to you. We'll pass it around the group. And mail it to each other like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
That'd be cool. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Evelyn, Hugo, and the husbands.
Hey. That sounds good to me. We can write the dates on there, like everyone when everybody read it. That'd be cute.
Darlene
Like
got me
look in the wild.
Oh, it doesn't come out that great.
When,
So
You know, and
oh yeah.
for I usually write in my books like, oh, Judith Gonzalez, whatever, or Jay Gonzalez, and because I don't know if you guys do that.
I do the same thing. Yeah, I wrote C. Frosto.
Exactly. So Darlene, I didn't know this existed. I don't know if you can see it. It says Library of.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Teachers use.
It's a little different thing, like a stamp,
Uh-huh.
but it like engraves it on the paper, and I was like, oh my god.
Where do you get that?
Online on, I think it was William Sonoma.
William Sonoma? You bougie.
They have nice stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I
want that. I'm gonna look it
many
up now.
times. But this is good because now I can let people borrow my books freely and like my shit is on there.
You know that it belongs to your library.
Exactly. Unless they remove that page, but that's fucked up. Who's gonna do that?
Do it to every page, Judith.
Oh my god.
It's like chopping off like some words.
Exactly. Oh god, yeah. For real.
Was that how you wanted to read it? It's like watermark.
I have all my teacher classroom books labeled like Miss Gonzalez on the front cover. That way the kids don't run off with them.
Oh yeah.
I'm allowed to take my classroom books to recess. They can take their own library books because they like mess them up. So.
Oh my gosh. I remember. Oh, no. I almost forgot. Talking about teacher books. So my sister came back and she started cleaning up certain areas that we haven't touched. And a lot of them were books from way back when. And I don't know if you'd be interested in having some of those books, Karina, because I don't know, for like your library, your school library, I don't know if you have like chapter books or what age, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, for second grade, it's mostly still picture books. Are they mostly picture or chapter books?
No, they're probably like it's
So
they're
you
like
just
chapter books, but they're still like one of them was the series of unfortunate events. We only have one. And another one was the files of Mrs.
The mixed up files of Miss Basil E. something, right?
Yeah, exactly, Miss Basil E. Frank something, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of them. Then we have, oh, I can't remember the other ones, but there was a few of like that kind, and then a little bit lower. But I was like, I don't know if you'd be interested in having some of those, because I think you're
Maybe, but right now I am still cleaning up the classroom I got, and there's like basically 3 classroom libraries in there. I haven't even been able to unpack my own, but maybe Crystal could use some. And if not, I have a friend in Salinas too, who it's her first year, and she's doing 4th, so those definitely sound more like upper grade books.
we were thinking of donating them, but I was like, wait, we have friends that have, you know, classes that they could use these books for. But the thing is, I don't know. I don't remember when I read these or when we were reading them, so I don't really know the levels. I guess you can look it up.
Yeah, no, if you just send me the pictures, I could just send it to my friend and see if she's interested. And she's in Salinas, so if the link comes up, we can get them to her somehow or something.
Okay.
I can probably drop them off too.
Oh, you still have my passport picture?
Yes, I don't have it with me, but
What?
it's his passport. What I should have done is put in the holiday card.
Oh,
But I like to believe
Your passport
picture.
Juan's truck. It like fell down the
Oh.
seat, and then
I
he
think
found it
that's
and he was like,
random.
"Hey." I'm like, oh, I don't know. So when I asked him, so I'm like, maybe I'll ask Corina. Maybe it's Corina's and she has it in her wallet or something. Yeah, and he's like, oh no, it's my passport picture.
In his wallet. That's funny.
That's cute.
I can get it to you soon. Maybe I'll just mail. I'm pretty sure I'll go to Salinas soon, so I can just like drop it off.
Yeah, let me know. I can meet you at Vertigo or something.
Okay.
Was this
Okay, down for-
like $50? Was the embosser like $50?
Yeah.
Damn.
Talking about, but yeah.
So I selected on there and it says personal embosser with stand, the library of, and then books image, and you just say personalization with your name and it just puts it automatically under it.
Yeah.
I have a little stand.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like you don't need the sticker, right? You could just do press straight onto the page.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have stickers. It's just like pressing
It's
on.
pressed on. It's like it's like you know
It's
how
like
you
your-
crump your hair or crimp it or whatever? It's that on the book.
Okay.
So like imprint it.
So you don't need any other materials besides the thing.
Yeah. No ink, no nothing.
Because I'm trying to order it.
Yeah. That'd be
But
awesome.
I'm like $50. Is
Yeah.
it worth it?
I think so.
I love it, dude. I haven't done it on my
I think I would just go and like start stamping stuff.
What'd you say?
It's like, oh, my agenda, my calendar.
Honestly, I was gonna do that to my notebook. Oh, I did. When I did it, well, I did it wrong because I didn't know how to do it yet. So I was like, oh, no salió.
Oh, all you see is the book.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to use it. It was tough, and I still don't quite know.
It's pretty hard. I've used one of those before, but it was like a seal of something else. It
Yeah.
was like for a company I used to work for. But they're heavy, right? Like it's hard to like.
Yeah. As I was first doing it, I was kind of ripping the pages because I was like super hard on it, but it's fun. It's kind of cool to see my name on them. And
It's
like,
so official.
you can't erase it. You can't like, Sharpie it because on the other side it's still imprinted. So I like it. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. I want it.
How are the rats, Crystal?
They're good. Well, one of them had a UTI.
Oh,
So we're giving him antibiotics.
Whoa.
And then they're all overweight, the vet told us.
no.
We have to like not feed them as much. But besides that, they're active. They seem happy. They're good.
You took him to the vet?
Yeah.
What were the symptoms for the rat with the UTI?
There was blood in his urine.
Oh, damn.
So I didn't know who it was, so I had to separate them and like into different areas, and then put a bunch of white paper towels to see which one was the one that was blood. Yeah,
Oh, shoot, that's scary.
I know they did a little X-ray on him. It was so cute.
So you got to see like all his little bones.
Yeah, there's not that much. Like it's bones, and his body's like so big around.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
The rat. I was about to say,
Like-
do you sedate it?
I think they hold. I didn't see it being done. I only saw the X-ray, but the lady had a vest. You know those vests that you wear for the X-rays, and I guess she would just hold him as still like on
Also,
her
her
vest.
bones came out of it.
No, or you know what? I don't know. I don't know how they did it. She was wearing like the vest, so I was assuming she had something to do with it. But then, yeah, her arms would have come out in it if that was the case.
I looked up an X-ray just to see.
I hope it feels better.
Yeah, and he was like not even like it didn't seem like he was in pain. He was acting normal.
There really isn't much.
Maybe it was like early stages, you know, where it's just like not necessarily burning yet.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope I caught it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jose was in Germany during that time, so he was like really worried.
It's like my baby while I'm gone.
I know, this is it. Can you see?
Oh my god.
He's like,
It's
like
real.
a little bone.
God, that's crazy. That's kind of cool to look at though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but there was no tumor, which is what we feared because a lot of rats die. Like they're prone to getting tumors, and like that's how they'll pass away. So we're scared of that. And thank you, Darlene, for the card, the Christmas card. Yeah, it was so cute.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. That's like our favorite picture of him. Same.
By we, she means me and Dailene.
He's very photogenic.
Yeah.
He's gotten a lot better. Before he would like turn away, but now like whenever I tell him sit, what helps is that he like really listens to sit and stay now. So